Yes, now we're joined by Professor Dibu Ojerinde, who is the Registrar of the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAMB. He joins us from Abuja. Morning, Prof, and thank you for joining us today. Well, we couldn't get your views out yesterday, but could you then go ahead and let's start with you explaining this redistribution policy of JAMB to us.
Right. Let me first of all say that the candidates don't seem to know what we are doing to help them. I want to say that, yes, at the policy meeting, it was decided that 180 will be the cutoff point. But each university has a right to increase the cutoff point. What we are saying is no university can go below 180. If they now discover that in medicine, where the 8,000 candidates have applied, there are only 150 spaces, the university has a right to cut it above 180, even to 250 if there's a need. So this is what has happened. And in any case, before we took this position, which has always been the case from time to time, it's not the first time that we are doing what we are doing. We have always been sending, for example, to UNILAG, scorers of 200 and above. But recently, we discovered that a lot of wastages are going on. Let me give you a typical example of a wastage that we experienced in 2013. For University of Benin, for example, 9,720 candidates wanted to study medicine, and the University of Benin had capacity to carry only 98 candidates. If you now send 9,720 candidates to UniBen, it means about 9,680 will be wasted. We are saying, instead of wasting these positions, let's see where there are no candidates in Nigerian universities.
Sorry, Prof, let me jump in. What do we have for University of Ilorin, for instance?
Oh, for University of Ilorin in 2013, for medicine, we had 7,842 candidates. And if Ilorin admitted only 145.
145?
Excuse me?
You said 145?
Only 145 out of 7,842. The remaining 7,700 and so are wasted. In other words, 98.15% wasted. The same thing is true of IFE. 8,218 applied for medicine. They scored 200 and above, and 91 candidates were admitted. 98.89 wastage. I hope you understand me. If I go to even Ilorin, which is the most popular university in this country now, in 2013, 10,526 applied to study accountancy, and they admitted only 159 candidates because that's their carrying capacity. And we are saying, if your carrying capacity is this low, let us send these candidates to other places where they'll be considered. 159 candidates admitted out of 10,526. In other words, 10,400 wastage.
All right, Prof. Do we have the figures of those who applied to that same school this year, for instance?
Oh, yes, I have it. For example, University of Lagos, 43,000 scored 200 and above. 43,000 scored 200 and above. The carrying capacity of University of Lagos is 9,000. We are saying if you send them 43,000, then take away 9 from 43,000. That is 34,000 wastage.
Okay.
At 4,000, we will not be able to go to anywhere. And why are we waiting for that type of situation? Why
some of the schools don't seem to be on the same page with you because they are complaining about that policy meeting that you had. Let me see what date that you had. I think they said it was on the July 14th, if I remember.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so some of them, for instance, now University of Ilorin says if 107,000 applied to the school and 75,000 scored above 200, and JAMB allocates about 15,000 to them for you posted 15,000 for post-UME?
Out of 75,000.
They don't understand the rationale. They think that that's unacceptable and that JAMB is taking about some of those functions because they say JAMB had never hidden their disdain for the post-UTME, and so they think that this can work.
If anybody is against post-UTME, you should count me out. I'm a measurement person, and I know what it means to cross Rubicons. All I'm saying is that you should cross the Rubicon in the right way. You don't need to do it to punish, to delay the life of the children, to waste their scores. Good scorers, 251, 261. I have the data of 2-3 years where over 100,000 could not go into any Nigerian university because they were not considered. They scored 240 and above. I have the data here with me. If you want me to show it to you, let me read it to you, and I'll give a copy to your studio in Abuja here for them to peruse later on, like I used to do. Let's see. Yes, I have it here. Well, I have it, and I'm saying that in yes, there we are. In 2013, 101,330 candidates scored 240 marks and above, and they were not considered for admission because they were delayed in other big universities. This was not released to the other willing universities and needy universities. In fact, let me give you a typical example of University of Agric. What do you call it? Nabekuta. University of Agric, Abekuta, does not have enough candidates for Agric. There is Agric engineering. There are so many other courses which are related to engineering, Agric, and they are now asking me to send candidates to them, so that they can take post-UTME.
Well, a number of questions pop up about this. I'll just pause a little bit, but okay.
Okay, Prof. Thank you for the figures you reeled out. But the question, and I'm sure many of those out there, their problem is not there that you want to ensure they are considered for admission.
I want to ensure that they are considered.
If you have this data dating back years, why is it that it is at this point that JAMB is doing this? How is it that this wasn't done before the results came out?
Okay, let me tell you. When the results came out, before we even released it to the universities, are you listening to me?
Yes.
When the results came out, before we released it to the universities, we went to the office of the Committee of Vice Chancellors, and we told them the degree of wastage going on in the admission process. We told them the wastages going on. We told them about the delays in admission. We told them about high scholars who are being left out systematically for one reason or the other. Not necessarily that they wanted to leave them behind, but because of late admission and the delay of this admission. Therefore, we decided that we should meet the Committee of Vice Chancellors. The Secretary, Professor Faborodi, arranged, and in their meeting in Port Harcourt, gave this information. And they now decided that the representatives of the federal, state, and private institutions should meet us to discuss the details. So we met them again in the office of the Committee of Vice Chancellors. We told them, we showed them the statistics, the degree of wastage. For example, like you quoted the Ilorin, 105,000 candidates applied to Ilorin. Of these 105,000, 79,000 scored 180 and above, 38,000 scored 200 and above. And the carrying quota of Ilorin is 7,200. Okay? You take 7,000, even if they cut it at 200, we are saying 38,000 candidates will go and sit for post-UTME. And in any case, they will take only 7,000. And there are so many other universities, even in the North Central, that have not gotten enough candidates.
Prof.
There are federal universities in the North Center, in the Southeast. Let us give opportunity to these children to be able to take the examination, I mean the post-UTME, in those places.
Prof,
so that
why didn't you do this before the results came out? You had the data for 2013, and I had data for 2014.
Before the result came out, I didn't know how well they would perform. I only told them this number of candidates applied, but their performance I wouldn't know. But when we discovered that 38,000, for example, or even 43,000 scored 200 and above in Unilag, The culture of Unilag, a standard university, does not allow that you come with them with less than 200 scores. And we are saying, hey, there's danger. Something is going on. How do we help the Nigerian child? How do we make sure that they are able to do pursuit terming in other places? Or do you want them to do pursuit terming in Lagos?
Okay, Prof, if I may come in, Prof. Did JAMB sell any change of university forms?
Yeah.
So
that was...
Why did JAMB do that when you know that you have some students applying to some schools in larger numbers than to some other schools? Why would you sell change of university forms?
What we are doing was to say, yes, you have taken University of Lagos, for example, and you scored less than 200. And you know very well that University of Lagos has that standard, Ibadan has that standard, if it has the standard of not taking anything below 200. Why don't you look for a lesser an institution that will take your score? But of course, they may not know. I don't blame them. They may not know that such, but some of them did genuinely.
Okay, so is it possible?
That you change to. They are now.